No, 7.
And spent all the money on getting things done, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having trouble here this morning.
Haley?
This is not a good
Behave.
thing.
No.
Thank you, dear. I never put that on because I forget to take it off. Pretty technical stuff here.
We really like this picture.
Why I don't have one like that.
Now I've got your puppy. What's your puppy's name?
Haley.
Haley.
Haley Comet.
She can't, you seen her run. She is. But
Yeah.
You know,
she had the name when we got
she
there.
don't
Come
get
over
on the
here.
blacktop or she
Sit
don't get on the pavement.
Come on, sit down.
And the last big
Now.
snowstorm we had, she was out
Now
there
stay.
running. When I
Stay.
drive the mail, she runs a figure 8 around me.
Oh, wow.
But she
Stay.
got too close with
Stay,
snow
Haley,
on it,
down.
she fell off of that curb.
Stay.
And then fell over in the big pile of snow that the blade burst. And she jumped over that and turned right around and jumped right back in. She didn't belong out there.
Stay.
Good dog. So
Yeah.
she's learning. She's learning stay.
Don't like to though. When somebody comes, you don't know, do you?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready when you are.
Right, you can
Is it going now?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
tell them when you were born and where. and
Okay, my name's John Robert Stauffer. Robert, you use for R. I use R, I don't spell my name, middle name out. But anyway, my brother was supposed to be in, he worked for Lockheed in California. He came home because he got a notice from the draft board. And he was supposed to be at Fort Leonard within 2 weeks already. So we both went to enlist in the Navy. But I wasn't old enough. And we really had a bad time because my dad wasn't going to sign the papers. And I was as big as my brother, and I said, that's all right, I'm still going, I'll lie about my age. So the last minute while he signed it. And we went through boot camp together. He stayed in Great Lakes and became a brig guard, and I stayed there and went to school. And then I went to went to Boston. And I took training there. I'm getting ahead of myself. At Great Lakes, they had a draft, and this kid got on PTs, and he was crying the blues, and I'd been on work detail. I found out I was supposed to be a gunner on a tanker. I asked him how he'd like to trade, and he was dumb enough to trade with me.
Oh.
They were sinking tankers like flies.
Mhm.
But anyway, that's how I got into PT boots. And then I went to Boston, and from there to Melville, Rhode Island, and did my training. Then we went up to New York and picked up our squadron. There's 12 boats in a squadron. One thing always it tickled me, but nobody was used to everything. The motor mech put it forward, reverse instead of forward, and we backed into the battleship Missouri. The skipper was ready to kill him. But anyway.
What was their remark about it?
What?
The guys on the battleship, what did they say?
Oh, I said fly at us. They were over the side chipping tape.
Oh.
But anyway, we did our training out of Melville, Rhode Island, and we were training some officers, and we had 2 torpedoes on one side. We didn't have the others on the other side. And we took these officers to Bayonne, New Jersey, and we got in rough seas, and I thought for a while we was on a submarine because we'd go down in the water and go over the top. Anyway, we got them up there, and everybody was seasick. I'd have given $100 to touch land anytime. But when we got to Bayonne, I walked about 20 feet, and I felt good again.
Hmm.
But from there on, then we come back, and we got our orders to go overseas, so they loaded our PTs, but 2 of them on a tanker. And they took us to Panama and unloaded us, and we did training there. And from there we went to Brisbane, Australia.
What year was this that you went in?
42, August 42.
Well, his mother was deceased, that's why he had only his father to contend with.
And they towed us. We took turns. One boat would tow us till they ran out of gas, and then we would tow them so we could get to our base.
Which was where? What was your?
Well, we're going to New Guinea. That's what I said. I don't remember the name of that base. But anyway, we had a young kid on there, and they had an old chief, and he says, "Let's make him seasick." I said, "All right, what are we going to talk about?" Green apples. So we got talking about green apples. He says, "John, you better shut up. I'm getting sick." And we really made it rough on him.
Was there any way you could contend with the seasickness, or you just had to?
Yeah, you
Put up
just
with it.
got to get over it.
Oh, okay.
I almost got seasick. Well, that's later on. But we got to our base, and we had a bunch of Japanese on an island, and we were keeping them from being transported out, and starving them to death, so they couldn't get food or no water or anything. And in that stretch through there, we sank 2 mine layers. We shot 1 plane down, and we shot 4 barges, sunk 4 barges full of people, full of soldiers. Well, we tried to take prisoners, and they wouldn't come. They'd point their head to shoot them, and I saw 2 guys trying to throw grenades in our engine room door hatch, and I shot both of them. Then I shot a 3rd one. Then we got one aboard. We didn't want to really hurt him, but we wanted to tie him up. So we took him in prison as a prisoner and turned him over to the army. But when we got back to our base, it was dinner time. So we had to draw straws to see who watched him. I was the lucky guy. I got the short straw. And that sucker says, "I'm hungry too." I says, "Where'd you learn to speak English?" Well, he said, "I graduated from UCLA. Boy, I wanted to kill him so bad right then. But we turned him over to the army, and I don't know whatever happened to him after that. But we would go, a couple of us would go together, and we'd go on the island and get these natives to take us up into the jungles. We'd hunt parrots. That was a delicacy for them. We'd shoot a parrot, and then we'd let them have it. But you know, I never could hit a white one. I don't know why, but I never could hit a white. And I could hit the color, it was real good. But the last time we went, he took us way back in there, and we told him we got to go back. So we didn't know, but 7 Japanese soldiers followed us back. And the natives turned them into the army. Then when, you see, the natives were friends, whoever controlled the coastline. If the Japs got them, they was catered to them. If it was us, he catered to us. And then a lot of times we would take 5 guys from the army, take them behind the Japanese lines by boat. We'd drop them off, and they'd be there for 2 weeks. Sometimes just a week, but anyway, when we come back to pick them up, they knew what time we were supposed to be at a certain place. And if they weren't there, we'd go on. We made 4 trips before we got the last one, got them out, and the Japs was shooting at them. They found them. And they were coming out in a life raft, and because we started protecting them then. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to go scavenger hunt. And we knew where a bunch of them were using a church for barracks. So each one of us put $1 in a hat and drew a straw, take your turn to shoot the steeple off the church. And I was the 3rd guy, and I shot the steeple off. It made everybody else mad. And so then we went ashore, And saw one Japanese shot him and wounded him. He got away, but then I got a bayonet and a field telephone and a little silk flag. And
An American flag or
No.
some other
no,
kind
it's
of?
a signal flag for the Japs.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to get it in that drawer, in that box of stuff on the dresser?
Stay.
Anyway, we shot back the Japs while the boats did, while give us cover when we was coming back, because he was shooting at us. We had so much stuff, we threw everything overside but one of each. I give the bayonet to my grandson, and my telephone box to my son.
Hmm.
But about had a heart attack when I got back to the farm. I never opened that sucker. And when I went to open it, I thought that could be booby traps, and man, all you do, open the lid, kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
It about made me face when I opened the lid. It was an empty thing. You know. Huh?
That's not where it's at. Go ahead with your thing. I looked in both boxes. It's not there. I'll look in it.
Over on that dresser, honey.
I know where you're
Okay.
going here, and I looked in both boxes. It's
All
Stay.
right, just let it go.
That's a good dog.
Headache?
Stay.
Headache,
That's a good dog.
headache. No,
You're being very good.
headache. Fuck with flags
They talk
from one boat to another, especially when you got radio silence. And I could read a few of them, but I never could master it because it went too fast.
Is there? Do they spell out letters? I mean, do they
Yeah.
stand for letters,
Well, see,
or just?
straight out like this is, are you ready? And then you go like that, and that's something else. And you go like that, and something else. And you go down and just crisscross all. I mean, each one has it's for a letter of the alphabet.
We have one on display that is half red and half white on a triangle. It's a square flag. Do you know what that might have meant in World War I?
No, because military army had different signals than what we had.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big problem. We lost 2 boats to American planes. They got stuck on a reef and supposed to be out of the area at 7 o'clock when they couldn't get them out. And the Navy planes came over and they came with 4 planes. They shot down 2 of them. And they left come back with 8 planes, and they shot down 4 of them. And they left come back with 12. And they got 6 of those in the battle. And then they come back with 16 planes, and that was too much to sunk them.
Do you know the names of those two submarines?
No, it wasn't submarine.
It was PTs.
PTs.
Yeah, it was our runner mates.
Do you know the names of them or the numbers of them?
Yeah.
Well, tell him.
Well, one was 324, and ours, 324, and one was 356. Our number was 354.
Were you able to save any of the men?
Yeah. The seaplane came in to pick up survivors, and the darn fool started shooting at them. They thought they Jap, and they said they never saw a red-headed Jap before. Our script
my.
crew was red-headed. We said he wished he'd have got shot. He was always after me. But anyway, and then,
How
We-
many did you pick up?
huh?
How many did you pick up?
Well, I think they got 7. And we didn't pick them up. The plane
Oh.
picked them up. One of them's my friend who lives in California now.
How many men would have been on each one?
15.
Can you explain the purpose for a PT boat? I mean, there's.
The
Yeah.
purpose for 'em?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
or what's the PT
Well-
stand for?
Patrol boat.
Patrol boat. Okay.
That calendar shows me in there that they sank cruisers and everything else.
They were quick.
They were quick. Oh,
They
okay.
could get in and get out real fast.
They were
didn't-
hard to shoot.
They were
Best
made
hit
of
with a gun
plywood.
because
Oh.
you wigwag through there and turn everything else, and so that kind of throws them off.
Okay.
I think most of them are tenders in there, they got some of the boats.
Here's probably a picture of a PT boat too. You already had pictures at the,
I know 2 torpedoes didn't do any damage,
two torpedoes wouldn't do any damage?
didn't do any damage, 2 of them we know of, because the other gunners think I drove the alcohol out,
Shame.
right through steel.
Higgins boat maneuver. What is that? What does a Higgins boat maneuver mean?
Well, that's a brand name of a boat. See,
Oh, okay.
Higgins made boats in Elko. I was on an Elko boat. They were just a little bigger
Okay.
and a little better
Was
made.
it- So they were,
Higgins was the first ones out.
okay.
Okay, so back to the island. Here's a shot of
The Higgins boat.
the Higgins boats lifted up a little. Those are Higgins boats. Thank you.
Back to the what?
Back to the island. I mean, we're
Okay, yeah.
rescuing men and losing.
Well, about
Boats
2
and-
weeks later, there was another boat. We were supposed to go capture a mine layer. And the other was supposed to go and take a mine layer. Well, they were lined with shore batteries and they trade swapped. We had to go get the ones where the shore batteries were lined up. We wound up, we sank the mine layer, but they, on the way out of the harbor, they shot a hole out of the bow right where I stand, about as big as a bushel basket. I was afraid my gun would be able to fall in. And they hit a muffler on the back. And the one that went where we were supposed to, an Australian plane sank him. Supposed to give him air cover, but he sank the boat. We tried to figure out who all would be dead and who wouldn't. We said, well, one guy will be dead for sure because he couldn't swim. And we got there. He was hanging on a piece of wood that had a body with him. And they said, man, we counted you out. He said, I hit bottom twice and I can swim like a fish. But we only got 4 guys out of that bunch. They got killed all the rest of them.
What about the time that the guy got a crease in his helmet?
Well, that's,
Was
yeah.
that the same time?
No, that was another fight. That's when I got the shrapnel on my knee. And I heard you get the Purple Heart for a sprained ankle, so I said, that's not for me. So I took my pocket knife and took the shrapnel out and said, go to the doctor. Well, it was a mistake because I would have had benefits for schooling and stuff if I would have let a doctor do it.
Oh, to take care of the
Yeah.
shrapnel.
Yeah.
It's the picture that your son-in-law did?
No, his shipmate's son-in-law.
Shipmate son-in-law, okay. Could you tell us about the picture up there? Because she's,
Yeah, Frank was my, he was my assistant. And his son-in-law drew that picture and painted it. Might add also in his house he's got a great big garage door. He lives in Lansing. But he painted the outline of Chicago on my garage door. Took him 6 months because the weather had to be just right in order to paint it.